Okay, so this is the third, or the part C. So we've got our switches holes, we've got our battery box, but if you look at the design that we have, we gotta make these little fancy holes, and they're more or less to save material. So to do that, we're just going to use the outline tool. So often we get in the problem where we closed our sketch, but we didn't want to. So instead of starting a new sketch, we want to just do a right click and edit sketch. And we can do that both here in the browse aspect, or we can do it down in the timeline. So just a right click. If it doesn't come up right away, so you can hit escape a couple times, and then you're back into your sketch and you can edit it. So we're going to use the offset tool, and we're going to grab this shape and we're going to bring it in this time. And I'm going to bring it in -5. So you can sort of, gives you a little handle. And then I'm going to continue on that theme with other objects. So I think if you want to, you can either chain it or not chain it. So let's see if that, so we click here and I'm going to select the unchain, and I can get rid of some of the aspects that I don't want because I just really want this line. And I'm going to keep it with the 5mm theme. And so then we can start using some tools like extend. So if I extend this line, then I can go and cut that. And so you're starting to see that we can pull lines off the geometry and make something that looks pretty. So we go back to offset. We're going to take this line. We might have to put the chain back on, and we'll bring it out. So this one's a little bit different because we had a 2mm offset, and so we could bring in this 7. So in this case it would be -7 just because it chose to go negative in that direction. You'll see that it created a lot of extra lines. So maybe that wasn't the best way to do it. If you go down here and you hit the extend, you can extend it on a curve, or you could draw it. So you can draw the line straight across. And we typically overshoot things. And then you can use your scissor to clean them up. So we've got that shape kind of how we like it. We could go in and delete some of these lines that were not desirable. We probably could have used the chain. Now it's important that you choose the correct one, not the, and you can always zoom in to get that more accurate. This line was still not cleaned up from before. So you'll see that when we go here, we've got kind of a fillet there and there and there, so we can add those fairly simply using the fillet command. So I forgot to trim that. So back to fillet, and I can select them all. I don't have to do them all at once, but sometimes we want to have that line the same. So it seems to look good at, I don't know, 6. Okay, so that looks good. We'll do the fillet on the bottom. We could keep it at 6. For some reason 4.5 looks good. And now this one, I don't know if this one's going to work well because it's got this curve here too, but we'll try it, see what happens. So it does weird things when we push it past that line. So maybe take it to the line but not past the line. So that would just be a 2mm fillet line. Okay, so from there we can use our mirror command, and we're going to select all our objects. You can always zoom in to make sure you got it. It is important to make sure that it does select the whole line. So the mirror line will be this center line, and we've got it on both sides. So at this point we could finish our sketch, and that looks pretty good. We might as well start adding one of the thicknesses. So it seems to be selecting some of it. So let's see if we can get it to work. Now it looks like we missed something over here, so it's not highlighting, which is a concern. So what we're going to have to do is we're going to have to cancel, and we're going to have to go back into our sketch. So we hit create sketch. So at this point we're going to have to zoom in and sort of see. So right here is our culprit, which is kind of lucky that we found it so quickly. So to do that, you can just go to extend, and you can see that it's got a weird thing. So it's probably better just to draw a line from that dot to that other dot. Now remember that Fusion 360 is a cloud-based software, so sometimes it all of a sudden acts really slowly. So I'm clicking on that line and that line, and hopefully that finishes it. Okay, so at this point we'll try it again. So now it seems to behave as a full line, which is awesome. So we're going to hit extrude, and we're going to turn it a little bit sideways just so it helps us out. And we're going to select the geometry. So I'm in extrude. I want to grab this. I also want to grab the battery box. And now I'm realizing, of course, I forgot to do one more thing, is to make that inside part. So sorry about that. But probably you'll make some mistakes because this is fairly complicated. So we're going to go to right click, edit sketch. We're going to go to our offset tool. We're going to grab this line. We're going to bring it in. Let's go 4 millimeters. Doesn't really matter. We're going to take a look at our fillet. We're just going to go around. And this is where we can push and pull. We'll say 5 looks good. Okay, finish sketch. And we'll take a look. So that's kind of right. We can put these things in later. So here's a weird thing that this line somehow came broken. Do not know how that happened. But it's probably pretty easy to fix. So once again, we have to go in and we have to edit our sketch. We can take our line tool, draw it, and then just delete that line. There's another weird thing here. Okay, so for some reason it deleted this part. So I'm going to go straight to the side. I want it to be straight, so I'm looking at the angle. So I'm going to give up on that. I'm going to tab over, and I'm going to give it an angle of 0. And click and hit the check mark. So now I can take my scissors and I can trim it. Once again, it is a cloud-based software, so sometimes it does weird things. So I'm going to hit save just because I don't want to lose it. And now I'm going to hit finish, and hopefully everything works now. Okay, so we're going to extrude, click on the outside, click on this inside, click on that little wall thickness, and you could go up or down. -3 I think is about what we're doing. it will matter for the switches clicking in and out. So essentially that is what we got. You'll notice that your sketches turn off. So to turn the sketches back on, you can do that. And we do have to bring this box up. So if we want to zoom in and try to figure out what that measurement is, you can use the inspect tool and you can measure, and that's a 5 mil lip. So let's do that. So we want to angle it so that we're getting it right. We're going to hit extrude, grab that lip. We're going to pull it up 5 mils. Okay, so it's starting to look a little bit more like a game controller. But I think we should stop at this point. We'll pick up in part D.